we box corporations? Can we like literally go? Can we get the boxing? I don't think so. What can I say about Xbox? The amount of people they have laid off over the last like 24 months has been insane. They have laid off a lot of people. 27,000 people since 2023. And let's be fair. How many people have Sony laid off? 1,500. 1,500? No, I'm just playing. Can't clap it up. None of this junk. It's all trash. Xbox decided to do some massive cuts over the last couple of days. It was not just Xbox, it was all the entirety of Microsoft. They were cutting about 4% or 9,000 people from their staff. And Xbox got hit hard. But the most egregious part about all of this, obviously 9,000 people being losing a job is crazy, and talking about right before the holiday. So they want us to forget about it over this 3-day weekend that y'all get. Just make sure you don't forget that Microsoft just laid off 9,000 people, and 9,000 people are out there looking for a job. But what they did do that was kind of crazy to me is what they did to Turn 10. They decided that Turn 10 just wasn't good enough. And I was like, is this depiction of like how they would feel about any of their studios if the game just doesn't land well? Because obviously Forza Motorsport wasn't the greatest launch, but it's still Forza. You know what Xbox is. It's the Halo Gears and Forza machine. So Forza has always been a key thing for them. I'm just confused on how that becomes such a throwaway thing. Like they just toss it to the side like that. I really don't get that. But I'm trying to play like devil's advocate to kind of understand, okay, maybe it wasn't doing so hot. Maybe it was a larger budget. But to turn 10 into something that it's not, cutting 50% of the staff, it it makes me feel like y'all don't got no more hope in your franchises, really. And it's more so just about who's make or what's making us the most money. I feel like a lot of this stuff is just showcasing that they should have never bought Activision. I can't blame it all on the purchase of that, but I feel like not because of the purchase, because they wanted to become such a huge publisher, it just made everything else that was meaningful within Xbox feel lackluster, based off of what it's showing from on an Activision level, or where places that you don't really see creativity flourish. And I just feel like that's what's going to be adopted in Xbox, because why wouldn't you? I just don't feel comfortable anymore with trusting that they're not going to jump and bail the first sign of like a problem. Now, granted, there has been problems with Xbox for a very long time. It wasn't no fixing that with just buying a big company, but it just feels like this was the first thing to just sting a lot. It just felt like, how do you get rid of the Forza stuff? How do you get rid of that team? Like, how do you do that? Like, they've been holding y'all down for such a long time. Just feels weird for them to be gone, Like, not gone, but I don't feel like we're gonna get another Forza. And I'm like, okay, we get the Horizon still, and maybe they just switch over to Horizon instead because that's the more popular franchise of Forza, I guess, at this point. But we still need really good racing sims. I feel like, are we just not going to get those anymore? I don't know. It just seems so weird now. And then they did the same thing with now there's reports coming out about Perfect Dark. Basically, Perfect Dark wasn't the perfect game apparently during their development. It was a big issues. People were saying that they were faking the gameplay trailer and stuff like that. I'm just, a lot of these rumors and stuff that I don't know have to be confirmed. It's just noise. But for Perfect Dark to show well, and show well last year, nobody had high expectations until you showed it, right? So if you knew it was in turmoil, it was having trouble, last year, why would y'all continue on as if like why would y'all even show us that? Y'all knew that that game was in turmoil, that they wasn't hitting checkpoints, and if you had to fake a trailer, what did you think was going to be turned around and how? That was my question. Like if those rumors are true, how did they feel like they were going to turn it around anyway? I don't think it was true. That's the problem. I just don't think it was true. I just think they wanted to cut that game. I think that they felt like a single player. The initiative was a big studio. They've been working on that game for 7 years. It might have been the best move to just let it go, and maybe that is what they thought. But I just feel like I don't know these passion projects, these projects that actually had meaning behind them, that were beneficial to the community, to be up and just tossed. It just don't. It don't feel right, man. It don't feel right. They already did that stuff with Tango Gameworks not too long ago. I just don't got no more faith. I ain't got no more faith. I never had faith because it's like, why would I have faith in a company? But it just feels like now I definitely just was like side eyeing everything they do. It just doesn't feel like they have a understanding of where they want to go next, and that is my problem with Microsoft today and Xbox because honestly, it's no longer Xbox. It's just Microsoft gaming. And that is the problem. Microsoft. Microsoft is the problem. If y'all don't believe me, just think about how they operate. $1 billion company, 3.64 freaking dollars, dude. Y'all so gross. I get it. I get it. I get it. They run the world. Computers they run off of them. I get it. But geez, they are very profitable to be cutting 9,000 people and killing games, man. I just feel like it's a small drop in the bucket for them and doesn't feel like, well, 9,000 jobs is not a small bucket. It's 4%. But it's just like, it just feels like such a rounding error at this point to me, how small of a part of the staff is, but how meaningful the impact can be. I just feel like they didn't have to do it. That's all. I feel like they didn't have to do it. I'm gonna stand on that. I don't think that the last 2 years have been this way for any reason. 27,000 cut jobs. It seems kind of insane, especially for $1 trillion company. But what can you do? Overall, the games that were all cut and delay or removed, it was the Raven software. They had about, I'm not sure how many people have been cut from there, but Raven software is impacted. Turns 10, they lost 50%. Like I mentioned, Rare and Everwild, they had their game canceled. I don't know if they were affected by layoffs or not, but I know that they game was canceled. I don't know if Rare lost people. It says here Rare was affected by layoffs too. So new MMO from ZeniMax Online Studios, they was canceled. I don't know if they lost jobs, but they said longtime exec Mike Fryer is also leaving the company. I don't know if they lost jobs though. Perfect Dark, the initiative, the whole team gone. Yeah, they got cooked. High Moon, I don't know what this is, but they were cut as well. They supported Call of Duty Warzone and other Call of Duty projects. Sledgehammer Games was they faced layoffs as well. I don't know about any of this. I ain't seen none of that. Blizzard has announced that their Warcraft Rumble support will not continue in its current form. Okay. Oh, they lost about 100 people. Right. Wait, they just made Halo Studios. So they laying off people at the Halo Studio. They just made that. Is this real? Dang. Yeah, they cooked everybody, bro. And then they did the same thing with Romero Games. Now, this is somebody that created Doom. I don't know much about it, but they were working on a game and they were definitely upset when that news came out. But dang, I did not expect Halo Studios to get hit when they just started working on that. Yeah. Anyways, it feel like a lot of the brand is getting hit the most because you got Turn 10 in here, you got Halo in here, and you also had well, Call of Duty ain't really the brand, but they got Rare. They had games that like the initiative, like their main studios that they were supposedly backing when they spent all that money. It's like they spent all that money to realize that, oh, we now bought enough stuff to keep us going. We can probably shelve some of these games that we got. We probably got too many at this point. And you know what that means? That tells me that they didn't have a passion for the games in the first place. Of course, they didn't have a passion. Why are you acting like they did, BCD? Well, I'm acting like they did because they tried to portray as if they did. It's really just one of those things like something got to go. And unfortunately, these were the bigger, heavy hitters. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just ranting at this point. But overall, man, I feel like this was such a gut check to a lot of people. And just I'm not, like I said, I'm not somebody that really cares about Xbox, like as in like, oh, I need them to succeed. I'm more so care about the people that's behind these companies that actually matter in real life. Like I feel like these things are so impactful to people, and it just feels like, yeah, we get the news, we get to be upset about our favorite game not being coming out, or the game we highly anticipating, but it really doesn't stop the effect of what's going to happen to 9,000 people as they get displaced in a job market that probably isn't on their side because everybody across the board in the gaming industry is firing people. So it's just not like it's not a good time to be fired for as a gamer, as a game developer at all. So that's pretty much it, though. I just wanted to get on here and yap, kind of get some feedback from y'all. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below and what this overall play is going to look like for the Xbox's future. And just let me know what y'all think overall, man. I feel like this play is going to be something that's obviously going to set up them to have a little bit more success, but at the same time, I feel like this is going to be continuing. Like this isn't the end of it. This is probably like give another 7, 8 months we're going to see another impact like this because that is their MO at this point to me. But let me know what y'all think. Appreciate you watching as always.